The 2024 June UGC Net JRF examination is cancelled. We just received the news that the examination is cancelled. The official handles have notified the same. We are not sure about we are not aware about the reasons behind the cancellation. We don't know. We might be aware about the same in the coming hours, and we'll update you. Now, the examinations would be held on a different date, fresh new dates which are yet to be announced. I'm quite sure that some of you might be, at least some of you might be sad regarding the cancellation because you might have done well for this examination. Now, see, all I have to tell you at this point is if you've done well for the 18th June net examination, which was cancelled, unfortunately, I'm quite sure that if you've done well in that examination, I'm sure you will definitely do well in the next new fresh examinations as well. I'm quite sure that you will do well. Now, if you feel that you are not that satisfied with the way you've written the 18 June net examination, this is your chance to upgrade, gear up, level up, and approach the examination as a new fresh examination. um, Either be the case, I'm quite sure that you will do well in the next net examination. Now at this point, what are we to do with the question paper that we have in our hands? First of all, how was the examination? This is one golden question that I should answer at the start. What is your opinion? If you've what is your opinion about the 18 June net examination English? Please do let me know in the comment box. How did I feel about what did I feel about the examination? What did our students feel about the examination? I would say it was pretty similar to the December 2023 net examination. Paper one was difficult. Paper one was difficult. It had its even the data interpretation, though one would be able to solve data interpretation question. It could take some time to click. The question would click to you only a few minutes into it, or a few minutes later after you start to understand the question. It could come a bit late, so that was difficult. Then there were some of the mathematical problems took a lot of time. Some people even said about the time management issue. That these are the general issues that people have faced while attempting paper one. If you scored somewhere above 25, it should have been safe, but exam is cancelled, we don't know. So maybe anything above 30 is a good score, really good score, I would say. I personally would say it's anything above 30 would have been a very good score. 25, very good. Good, 25 is good. 25 above 25 would have been good. Now, what about paper two? Paper two was exactly, I felt the same, difficulty level as of paper 2023 December exam. It was almost same. The difficulty level was almost same. It was easy, I would say. It was easy, and you can comfortably score above 50, 55, even 60 and higher if you've prepared well. Anything above 55 would be a good score, I would say. 55, maybe 60 above would be a good score. What would have been the cutoffs if the exam was not cancelled? I would say somewhat same as of the previous net exam, December 2023 net exam. I think the JRF cutoff was 69.66, if I'm not wrong. And the net cutoffs were somewhere, sorry, net cutoffs were 60ish, I think 60 or something. So this time also it would have, the cutoffs would have been the same if the exams were not cancelled. So anyway, so how did I feel about the question paper? I would say it was easy. Paper two was absolutely it was largely, it was easy. We had many questions on chronology. You were asked to arrange in chronological order. For example, eras were asked to be arranged in chronological order. Caroline age, Jacobean age, you had to arrange them in chronological order. Then you had playwrights, William Wycherley, Congreve, Dryden, and that had to be arranged in chronological order. Then then let's see, questions like master following, many master following questions were asked to his co-mistress college, that had to be arranged, and a chronology question was asked on Milton's work. A chronology question was asked on D.H. Lawrence's work, Babani Bhattacharya's work. So these questions, I think we've discussed them in our classes. We've also discussed them in our live sessions, quiz sessions, and in fact, I felt so happy to see, such questions being asked. You had master following on theory, literary theory and criticism, on link in on literary terms. For example, there was a question on anaphoric word, morpheme, antecedent, periphrasis. If see in such questions, if you are doing just one match, you would be able to get the entire set correct. For example, in this question on anaphoric word, morpheme, antecedent, and periphrasis, if you know, if you knew what was a morpheme, you would be able to come up with the rest of the matchings. Then there were there were questions on yeah, there was a chronology question on movements, imagism, impressionism, absurdism, futurism, pre-Raphaelitism. See, if you know that pre-Raphaelitism was a 19th century movement and the rest were a 20th century movements, you would be able to come up with the answer, because there is only one option in the among the four with that, with pre-Raphaelite as a first entry, in the first position. So you would be able to come up with the answer. You know what made me immensely happy was there was a question, master following question, where you had politics and the English language. I mentioned this in my revision class few hours before the UGC net examination of 18th June. Um, Politics and the English language also work by George Orwell. I even quoted him. Sports is war minus shooting. I remember quoting that. So that was those who have attended would have found that easy. Now there were some interesting questions. For example, uh, Oxford Dictionary. Which among the following are the Indian words in Oxford Dictionary? Chai, Jugad, and Namaste are the answers. Interesting question. Not usually you would find such questions. There was a question to arrange some of the neoclassical or romantic works in chronological order. For example, you had Vicar of Wakefield, Life of Johnson, Johnson's Dictionary, Life of the Poets, Life of Nelson, etc. If you try to strategize this, even you don't even have to know the years to answer this, because if you can strategize the answer, for example, I go by the logic that Johnson's Dictionary, if in 1755, obviously, Life of Poet written by Johnson. All of these were written before Boswell went and wrote Johnson's biography. Life of Johnson is only written after Johnson wrote these major works. And in Life of Johnson by James Boswell, he even mentions about the different series of struggles that Johnson had to undergo to come up with this. So obviously, it would be written after that. So if you can strategize and come up with an answer, it would probably be right. You know what made me immensely happy was that there was a question on Langen parallel, a two concepts that I often mention in my classes, and I've been repeatedly saying that this topic is an absolute favorite of the question paper setters. What is Lang? Lang is an entire structure where Lang is a collection of maybe the vocabulary, the grammatical rules, the structure, the entire structure itself is a Lang. What is a parallel? Parallel is an individual utterance. So these two concepts, they often ask. Concept by Ferdinand de Saussure. Then, interestingly, you were asked to arrange in chronology um, some post-colonial works: Orientalism, Nation and Narration, Black Skin, White Mask, Decolonizing the Mind. We mentioned these works in our classes. Then a couple of questions could have been cancelled if they had not cancelled the entire exam as such. So, uh, yeah. Then uh, one very interesting question was to arrange chronologically the Dalit writers in accordance with the year of their birth. There was Urmila Pawar, Bhama, Meena Kandaswamy, Gogu Shyamala, Kumud Paude. If you have known that Meena Kandaswamy is the youngest among the list, you would be able to come up with the answer. Other significant writers like Urmila Pawar, they're pretty they are seniors. I would say seniors in the area. Urmila Power has come up with important works like Weave of My Life. Bama came up with Karik and Sangadi, famous writers. But then Meena Kandasamy is the youngest among this. Then interesting questions like, yeah, another master following question which you could have answered easily was Aporia, Econons, encomium, and hagiography. If you know what hagiography is, you would be able to come up with it. And hagiography is writing of lives of saints. That's a very almost a layman term. So if you know what hagiography is, you would come up with the correct answer. That apart, if you pay attention to your classes, aporia is a word that I've discussed. So aporia is a term associated with deconstruction. You would be able to come up with the answer. Another question that made me immensely happy was APA. I discussed this again in the revision class a few hours before the examination. What is a full form of AP? AP is a style of citation, style of uh, writing research like MLA, APA, Chicago formats with which we write uh, research papers and thesis. What is the expansion of APA, American Psychological Association? A question that made me immensely happy because we have discussed this few hours before the examination. Then there were easy match the following questions like objective, sympathetic fallacy, sprung rhythm. If you have known, sprung rhythm is associated with Gerald Manley Hopkins, answers right away. Then Oh, Captain, My Captain. Captain, My Captain is dedicated to Abraham Lincoln on his death by War Whitman. There was a question that again made me happy because original name got to be matched with pen names. Charles Ludwig Dodson, Louis Carroll, Marianne Evans, George Eliot, Eric Arthur Blair, George Orwell, and Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain. Again, I've mentioned this in my previous classes. Again, a match the following question. Third space is matched with Homi K. Baba. I've mentioned this a few weeks ago in my live classes. If you attended my live classes, you would have written this. Well, literature. I'm not saying that you would only write if you attend my live classes, but could have helped you if you have attended. Well, literature Gade, post impressionism, Roger Franz, Simalkra, again something that I've discussed. Jean Baudelaire. Then interesting questions like translator. Who is the translator of Kena Upanishad? Kena Upanishad and the other Upanishads are translated by Rajaram Mohan Roy. Ramayana. This you should know. I've mentioned repeatedly. I've said this in the class that Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita translators go to be studied. Ramayana is translated by Ralph Griffith, famous. Mahabharata is translated by Manmatha, famous. And finally, Bhagavad Gita, Charles Wilkins, very, very famous. Was also a previous year question. Uh, then some of the other interesting questions that caught my attention was again I matched the following question. Complete Adventures of Feluda. That was matched with Satyajit Ray because I'm an absolute favorite work of mine. Feluda. Feluda. See, I find the word very funny because it sounds very similar to Faluda, the Faluda that we eat. So that catches my attention always. So Feluda, Satyajit Ray, Perfect Murder, Ruskin Bone, Sacred Games, Vikram Chandra. If you paid attention to at least a series released on Netflix, you would be writing the answer. Gin Petrol on the Purple Line by Deepa Annapara. Okay, it goes like that. Then again a few cancelled questions, and then another match the following. See, this was a playground of match the following and chronology. Many match the following and chronology. Very classic kind of question. I would say this was a classic kind of question paper because zero questions on assertion reason type. Zero questions in assertion reason category, absolutely zero. Statement one, statement two, even that category was entirely absent. So this was like a very classic I mean classic in the sense this was how the question paper used to be, and it changed drastically over the years, I mean like for good I would say. But then this was again going back to the old times. uh, we don't know, this was a cancelled examination. We don't know how the original examination would appear. Let's see. Okay, then yeah, there was a question on Dalit Panthers that was quite surprising. Dalit Panthers were there. Then question on Girish Karnad's dramas going to be arranged in chronological order. I've been repeatedly saying this in class to pay attention to Girish Karnad and his dramas and even arrange them in chronological order. I've also been repeatedly speaking about Bite Sargasso Sea by Jean Rice, written inspired by, not inspired, but written as a follow-up of Jane Eyre. So Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. You were asked a question on that. Then easy question on plagiarism. See, something that I should mention that this question paper had around 5 to 6 questions from research and research methodology itself. So that area is being given high prominence in this question paper. So pay attention to maybe research and research methodology. However, those questions asked were rather easy, I would say. Now, you were also asked again a question from research and research methodology. You were asked to you were asked to pick the correct citation. How would you cite in MLA format? By the way, the latest MLA format that we use is MLA 9. How would you cite in MLA format? Last name of author's last name, comma, first name, period. Name of the work in italics, period. Publisher's name, comma, year of publication, period. This is how you cite in MLA 9 format. Pay attention. Then question on phallogocentrism is something that we often mention in class. Derrida's coinage. Then what was annotated bibliography? Again, a question from research. Then a few questions where you were asked to identify quote which author, which work, etc., etc. And it goes like that. Then there was a question from Bollywood. There was a question from Indian films. You were asked to arrange in chronological order the works, the mentioned movies, and all of them were supposedly based on disability, themed around disability. However, had the question paper entirely been not cancelled, I would have said that this question itself would be cancelled, because I think this question carried some error. The correct answer was not in the options list. Okay, that apart, films like Pa, Khamoshi, Iqbal, Margarita with the Fana. I'm a huge fan of Fana. So Fana, these works were in the list. Then I think only 2-3 questions from American literature, but again that it is important. Then a question on uh, works edited by gay activists and gay authors. Then a work on girlhood, a magazine, work based on magazines on girlhood and girl culture. That was asked. Again, a research question. And again, a favorite question, because again something that I mentioned in the class. On the left hand side, master following. On the left hand side, you Kora carnivalization. Carnivalization, not that. I mean, like the word as such is not used much. It's like carnival and carnivalesque. Don't know why they've used carnivalization. Never mind. Contrapuntal reading, écriture feminine. On the right hand side, Helen Sisu, Kristeva Bhaktin, and Said. So that got to be matched. Kora smashed with Julia Kristeva, obviously. Carnival matched with Mikhail Bakhtin, contrapuntal reading Edward Said, and écriture feminine Helen Zizou. Now, what about comprehension? Comprehension, uh, easy. It was easy. It was really, really easy. It was school level, I would say. I mean, I'm not complaining, but then it was easy. You can get a 10 out of 10 if you pay attention. The poem, interestingly, has like, have you identified the poem, by the way? That does not ask in the question paper, but have you identified the poem? It's by Langston Hughes. Mother to Son by Langston Hughes is the poem given. They've not mentioned that in the question paper, but that is a poem. Uh, they were rather easy. And then there was a passage on man and animal and the use of knowledge and brain. So what about the question paper? Paper 2 of the cancelled examination. June 18th examination was easy. It was easy. Again, to conclude this video, let me just give you some pep talk. Not for the sake of giving pep talk, but honestly, what I feel is, if you've done well, I'm sure that you will do well for the next net exam as well. You will do well for the re-examination, I'm sure. If you're not satisfied with your performance, this is the best opportunity. Make use of this opportunity. Make use of the coming days. The dates are yet to be announced. I don't know when the next exam would be, but then let's wait. No matter what the date is, I'm sure that you'll get some time and make use of the time to prepare for the examination. That's it. If you would want to solve more previous year questions, you can go to our website. The link to the website would be given in the description box. You can also check out the different courses that we offer. If you have any doubts regarding UGC NET examination in general or in particular, you can definitely feel free to text our admin anytime. The number would also be given in the comment box or the description box. Thank you so much, and all the best for the re-examination.